Have you ever wondered why some Americans struggle to live in Singapore, a place often called the world's cleanest, safest and most disciplined country? In 2025, while Singapore continues to attract thousands of visitors and expats from the United States, not everyone adjusts smoothly. From strict laws to unspoken social norms, many Americans find the Singaporean lifestyle both fascinating and frustrating. But what exactly makes Singapore so difficult for some Americans to handle? Today on infoSphere, we're diving deep into this question, uncovering the surprising reasons why even the world's most freedom-loving citizens find it hard to adapt to the Lion City's rules. So sit back, relax, and let's explore 5 eye-opening truths about why Americans can't always handle Singapore's rules in 2025. Freedom versus order, the culture clash. For many Americans, freedom is not just a right, it's an identity. The United States was built on the principles of liberty, free expression, and individual rights. In contrast, Singapore thrives on order, discipline, and a deep respect for rules. This cultural difference is the first major barrier for Americans living in Singapore. When Americans arrive, they're often amazed by how spotless and organized the city is. No litter, no graffiti, no chaos. But soon they realize that this order comes with strict enforcement. Laws that seem small back home, like spitting, littering, or jaywalking, can result in heavy fines in Singapore. In the US, such acts are often ignored, but in Singapore, they are seen as social crimes that damage the country's harmony. Many Americans find it hard to adjust to the idea that freedom here has boundaries. You can express yourself, but only within the limits of respect and order. This structured freedom is foreign to many who grew up believing that personal liberty should never be restricted. Some even describe Singapore as too controlled, while locals simply call it well-managed. In 2025, this clash continues to define the American experience in Singapore. It's not about right or wrong, it's about two worldviews colliding. Americans are used to freedom first, rules second. Singapore flips that formula, rules first, freedom within them. For those who can adapt, it's a life-changing lesson in discipline. For those who can't, it feels like living in a constant state of restraint. The strict laws Americans forget exists. Singapore is famous and sometimes infamous for its strict laws. While Americans value personal choice, Singapore prioritizes community behavior. Things that most Americans never think twice about can lead to legal trouble here. Chewing gum is restricted, littering is punishable, and vandalism is treated as a serious crime. Smoking in public spaces, feeding pigeons, or eating on public transport can all result in hefty penalties. To an American visitor, these might seem like small issues blown out of proportion, but for Singaporeans, they're the foundation of a clean and respectful society. In 2025, social media is filled with stories of Americans fined for doing things that are perfectly normal back home. For example, a tourist lighting a cigarette in a park, or a vlogger eating on a train, actions that attract attention and fines. Singapore's authorities don't make exceptions, even for foreigners. That's something many Americans struggle with. They're used to negotiation, flexibility, and grey areas. Singapore operates in black and white. Either you follow the rule, or you face the consequence. But here's the twist. These same laws that Americans find harsh are the very reason Singapore is so admired globally. Its low crime rate, spotless streets, and social harmony all come from this firm system. For many Americans, it's a paradox. They love the results, but resist the rules that make it possible. Privacy and surveillance shock. One of the biggest cultural adjustments for Americans in Singapore is the level of surveillance. The city is covered with thousands of cameras that monitor traffic, streets, and public spaces. In the US, this would spark debates about privacy and government overreach. But in Singapore, it's seen as a safety measure, not an invasion. In 2025, Singapore's Smart Nation initiative is more advanced than ever. AI-driven cameras track behavior, digital payments record activity, and government systems analyze data for efficiency and security. To many locals, it's progress, but to some Americans, it feels like being constantly watched. They grew up with the idea that privacy equals freedom, and government monitoring feels like a violation of personal space. However, What they often miss is that this surveillance system works. It keeps crime low and public trust high. In fact, Singapore's crime rate is one of the lowest in the world, and most citizens support this balance between safety and surveillance. Americans living there often go through a period of shock, followed by slow realization. Over time, many admit they've never felt safer anywhere else. The challenge lies in mindset. Americans see privacy as protection from power. Singaporeans see surveillance as protection of peace. This deep philosophical difference is why adapting to Singapore's system takes time, and why some Americans never fully adjust. The pressure of perfection. Singapore's image as a perfect city comes at a cost. Everything from education to cleanliness to business operates under high expectations. For Americans, this can be overwhelming. The competitive environment, constant efficiency, and social pressure to perform are unlike anything most are used to. In the US, individuality is celebrated. Failing, trying again, and expressing your personality are seen as normal parts of life. In Singapore, while creativity is growing, society still values discipline, success, and conformity. Americans who move there for work or study often describe the environment as intense. Deadlines are strict, meetings are punctual, and standards are exceptionally high. By 2025, Singapore's economy is one of the most advanced in the world, and its citizens take pride in that reputation. But it also means that foreigners must adapt quickly. No excuses, no shortcuts. For Americans used to flexibility and casual culture, this adjustment can be tough. The tiniest mistake at work or in behavior can feel magnified in such a rule-oriented society. Yet those who embrace this system often find themselves transformed. They become more disciplined, efficient, and globally competitive. It's a test of adaptability, and while not every American passes it, those who do emerge sharper and stronger than before. The hidden social rules. Not all of Singapore's rules are written in law books. Many are cultural, silent codes of respect, behavior, and etiquette that every local understands instinctively. For Americans, these unspoken expectations can be confusing. In Singapore, hierarchy, politeness, and community harmony matter deeply. Speaking loudly in public, criticizing the government, or showing public affection can be frowned upon. In the US, such behavior is normal, even encouraged as self-expression. But in Singapore, subtlety is key. Knowing when to speak, how to behave, and when to stay quiet is part of social intelligence. In 2025, many Americans still learn these lessons the hard way. Some face backlash online for jokes or opinions that seem harmless back home. Others are corrected by locals for unknowingly breaking cultural etiquette. It's not hostility, it's simply how Singapore protects its social balance. Adapting means learning humility, understanding that respect comes before opinion, and harmony comes before individuality. It's a mindset shift that challenges even the most open-minded Americans. But those who embrace it discover a side of Singapore that few tourists ever see, a society built on quiet discipline and deep mutual respect. So, can Americans truly handle Singapore's rules? The answer isn't simple. For some, the structure feels restrictive. For others, it's refreshing. Singapore's order, safety, and discipline show what happens when a nation values harmony over chaos, but it also asks something in return: respect for the rules that make it great. In the end, Singapore isn't about limiting freedom, it's about redefining it. Freedom within discipline, expression within respect, and individuality within community. What do you think? Could you live under Singapore's rules, or would you find them too strict? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more thought-provoking content from infoSphere. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep discovering the world.